Smile, Ian.
Good morning. Honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Flodden Day. Thankfully, the weather is looking pretty good today after some awful days in the past few weeks. Much finger crossing and no doubt a few prayers of hope does the trick for us today. I hope you have all enjoyed the breakfast on offer, which has been superbly prepared for us by Peter Allen and his staff. We have a number of helpers who will be available all day to assist you get back and forward to where you need to be. These are, and please make yourselves known guys, Malcolm Campbell, ex-Coldstreamer Martin Law, and ex-Coldstreamer Stephen Hope. Please feel free to ask them anything you want to know about the proceedings today. For those of you who haven't been with us before, we will leave the community centre here and make our way along to Henderson Park to be in position before 10 AM, where a proclamation will be read to the Coldstreamer informing him of his special duties today. After the proclamation, the Coldstreamer will leave and make his way down to the Leas, ready to lead the cavalcade through the town. We can watch the cavalcade from outside Henderson Park or the town hall before the guests board the buses to take us to Branxton Hill. And the buses will be at the bottom of Garage Road, just next to the garage. Once at Branxton Hill, we will see the cavalcade gallop up the hill with the beautiful Borders countryside as a panoramic backdrop, a sight not to be missed. It's still an experience I can recall like it was yesterday, even after all these years, leading the cavalcade and galloping up Branxton Hill, thinking my chest was going to burst with pride. Once the horses have all arrived at Branxton Hill, please make your way up to the tent at the top of the hill so we can start our service of remembrance. After the service is finished, please make your way back to the buses as quickly as you can so we can head down to the Flodden Memorial for a special ceremony to commemorate the fallen from your own towns and local areas. If we don't get away before the horses leave, it'll probably delay the start of the ceremony. After the ceremony has been completed, we'll return back here to the community centre for lunch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the hall our 2023 Coldstreamer Harry Shepherd, right-hand man Jane Kerr, left-hand man Chris Lyons. Coldstreamer Harry, today is the highlight of the week for the whole town, but especially for you. I am sure you will never forget today and ask you to try and take it all in and enjoy every minute of it. You only get one chance to lead the cavalcade on Flodden Day, so make the most of it. The streamer and his attendants will now give us the first rendition of the day of the Coldstream song.
We shall always lead by silvery street, ever first through border tune. And we shall proudly say this is Coldstream's day, with Julian Scotia's crew. So let us all rejoice with a mighty voice as we see our banners blow. For white and blue is staunch and true, and Coldstream leads them all, leads them all.
Three cheers for the Coldstreamer. Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hip!
Hooray!
Hip!
Hooray!
good, safe end. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the formal part of the breakfast, so please make your way up to Henderson Park for 9:50 a.m. and I'll see you along there. Thank you very much.
Harry, how are you feeling about today?
I'm feeling nervous, but I'm feeling looking forward to getting it.
Morning.
For me personally, I've had 3 other uncles that have been Coldstreamers as well, so it's a special one for me. And it's just a good goal for the town. It's one of the highlights when we're younger, we go to Civic and just see the horses going in. It's just an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing to be a part of. It's just history and tradition.
What's the most special part of the season?
Probably Flodden ceremony.
And some people are still
Keep going. Excellent.
I mean, that must be good. Why do they
Good.
Just because it's an amazing event right across the borders, like every town's different. People in Jeddah, that's nice.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start, I have an important announcement from the Riders Association. Due to the route that the cavalcade will be taking into Branxton this morning, it is advised that if you are driving I've never heard so many bells in all my life. At least we must be on time. Welcome to Henderson Park, overlooking the ancient Flodden battlefield in the distance to my right, and also overlooking the site of Coldstream's Abbey, next to the Tweed Green down to my left. This ceremony marks the start of Flodden Day 2023. First of all, it is my pleasure to introduce our principal guests for our commemorations today, the Earl and Countess Hume. The Earl will shortly make a proclamation to Coldstreamer Shepherd. Thereafter, the Countess will attach the Hume colours to the Coldstreamer's rosette. He will wear them with pride today until he fulfills his duties later at the Abbey ceremony, when he will return the Hume colours. Also in attendance with us this morning is Mr. James Royce, who will deliver the oration at Branxton Hill this afternoon. Back in 1513, the area around us would not have been as built up as it is today, but the most prominent building in the town would have been Coldstream Abbey, which overlooked the old crossing on the River Tweed. After the Battle of Flodden, the Abbess, Isabella Hoppringle, caused the Scots bodies of rank and birth to be borne from the bloody field of battle back to Coldstream Abbey to be given a Christian burial on consecrated ground. To commemorate this act, Coldstreamer Shepherd will be charged to cut a sod of earth from Branxton Hill and carry it back from Flodden to Coldstream, where it will be placed on a stone capital, which is believed to be the only remaining relic of Coldstream Abbey. This ceremony will take place back here in Henderson Park at the slightly later time of 6:30 p.m. this evening. It remains a very moving ceremony which is well worth witnessing and makes a fitting conclusion to the story of Flodden Day. Sir Walter Scott's epic tale Marmion tells how the Queen of France asked King James IV of Scotland to help in the struggle against the English King Henry VIII. And strike 3 strokes with Scottish brand,
and march 3 miles on southern land, and bid the banner of his band in English breezes dance. Today, we go the same 3 miles on southern land, and our banner will dance to a much friendlier English breeze. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Coldstreamer and the Coldstream Borough Standard and his right and left hand men into Henderson Park.
Coldstreamer, I, Michael, the 16th Earl of Hume, charge you to lead the cavalcade assembled here in Coldstream today to Flodden Field, as my ancestors did in 1513. There, to lay a wreath in homage to the slain of that fateful day. I also charge you to return with a sod of earth cut from the field, which thereafter be used in a ceremony later this day.
Sir, I solemnly promise to carry out your charges to the best of my ability. 3 cheers for the Earl of Home. Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hip hip!
Hooray!
Ladies and gentlemen, Flodden Day 2023 has officially begun. The Coldstreamer will now leave the park to lead the mounted cavalcade to Flodden. We hope to see you all at Brankston Hill and again back here in Henderson Park for the Abbey ceremony at 6:30 p.m. tonight. Thank you.
Go on, Harry! Catch you later, Steve. Come along with you, Dave.
I'm trying to groom my hair. This way a bit.
Near him. I hope it's not got smelly vision, Dave.
You can smell it. Kind of like it. Kind of like it. That wee guard, did he come up from London or something?
I think so, aye. Did you sexy little big shoe? Thank you.
And you as well, you'll hear me, don't worry. I'll have a few gins in it by then. I need a hair with a dollar line.
to see you, alright?
They've never done it before. Yeah. I Dobby will come up the Alexander file. Something done. Oh, the wall.
Oh, is that? We had snacks and bags and everything to bring their food up. Oh, is that? I was panicking because I was in one school of Euro Cup with like 4 bags full of stuff and we're like, how can we get these under the seats? Oh, you'd have been fine on it. Yeah, we might need it. We might need it back. We've got up there 80 cars. Bells or whatever it is, drop in it. Bell the bomber. So I'm actually following my number over the device.
Yeah, I moved it so I didn't sit on it.
I knew I'd end up at the furthest away point from everybody else.
This fairly keeps going a bit. The airport with Dave, man.
I will later.
I'm not picking you up.
Watch it, go ahead.
Well, you've got 2 new. Love you too. Shula, it's moving the cheap stuff. It's only one time he's doing it. Look, there's Dad, he's been on the buggy. Look, he's opening the gate down there.
Where's the left to go? I'll be left to
David, do you want monument?
No, I've got this.
Sophie's Laura wants some. Beside you, just beside you. Laura, no, Laura. No, Laura. Oh, she's going to get through. You know what one, just to toast them at the hill. What about Anna? Here comes Dad. In my big chair. Ready? Here comes Dad. Dad's in the buggy.
Hooray!
Oh, I've got a wasp at my Olivia, don't go too far down.
No, at the mess.
Run up.
Didn't touch any of my food. Oh, what's that?
Shut!
You don't get a smell with that.
Jackie, please!
How would you like them in the car with that phone?
Here he comes. Can you see him? He doesn't feel it.
Phones all over the place again.
Ken, Brunswick stands right. Absolute Brunswick.
Thank you very much. Thank you, the bottle.
Must be.
And Ruby writing it up?
Can you see?
You see
Harry?
Come in.
Like, go forward a little bit. You can't see
Last night a wind from Lammermoor came roaring up the glen, with a trumpet tripping horses and a laugh for reckless men, and struck a mailed hand again and cried in rebel glee, come forth, my borderer, and ride the march with me. I said a wind o' Lammermoor, the night's the dark to ride, and all the men that fill the glen are ghosts of men that died. The floods are down in Bowman, burn the mosses fetlock deep. Go back while we're no Lammermoor, till Lord of Dale and sleep. Riding 'em high, riding 'em low, the rainers they hard and glad. Spoke the wind the Lammermoor, we know the road right well. The road that runs by Cale and Jet across the Carter Fell. There is no man of all the men in this great troop of mine, but one might ride the border side, pretty if you'd hit it time. Riding 'em high, riding 'em low, the raiders play hard and glad. Horses fretted on their bits and poured the flints to fire. The riders swung them to the south, full face to their desire. Come sent the wind of Lammermoor and spoke full scornfully, have ye nae pride to mountain ride? Your fathers rode with me. Riding 'em high, riding 'em low, the raiders play hard and glad. To the gate, they led from flight and travelled far. A snorting roan that tossed his head and flashed his forehead star. There came the sound of clashing steel and hoof tramps up the glen, and two by two we cantered through, a troop of ghostly men. I know not if the farms we fired are burned to ashes yet. I know not if the stars grew tired before the stars were set. I only know that late last night, when the northern winds blew free, a troop of men rode up the glen and brought a horse for me. Riding 'em high, riding 'em low, the raiders they hard and glad. Riding 'em high, riding 'em low, the raiders they hard and glad.
Might be a bit slow.
David, who's filming?
What? Who said that?
Pete said that. Midge, what does Midge want to pass it on? Here comes Hope. Come on, Hope. Anna, do you want some? Are you ready to give her a big cheer?
Claire's on them. That's what I said.
I know, that fits. But did you see the little ones?
No, no, that's it. Next year. We'll see.
There is one.
4 times in the boot.
Oh no, I got right there. God, it was sick.
Somewhere.
It must have been stung in the lip.
I know, on Monday, wasn't it?
Maybe it isn't.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Branksome Hill for the town of Coldstream's annual pilgrimage to commemorate the Battle of Flodden, and where we pay our respects to the dead of both nations who fell in these fields around us. Today we also remember the actions of Isabella Hop-Pringle, Abbess of Coldstream Priory, who caused the bodies of Scots noblemen to be carried back to Coldstream to be buried in consecrated ground. The service today will be jointly conducted by the Reverend Alan Hughes and the Reverend Robin McCarthy. The lament will be played by Piper Rob Bell, and the last post will be played by bugler Peter Nico. I ask that if you are able, please be upstanding during the lament and the last post. We are honoured to have with us today the Earl and Countess of Hume and the High Sheriff of Northumberland. We are also pleased to have with us the Coldstreamers' parents, David and Fiona Shepherd, the parents of our right-hand man, Andrew and Julie Kerr, and the parents of our left-hand man, Neil and Mandy Lyons. Our guest speaker today, who will shortly deliver the oration, is Colonel James Royds. Also in attendance are dignitaries from many of the other border towns, and we welcome them all here today. We are also extremely proud to have with us for our ceremonies today a detachment from No. 7 Company Coldstream Guards under the command of Lieutenant Hamish Kelby Balmer. They undoubtedly add something very special to our Civic Week and are most welcome. I will now ask the Reverend Alan Hughes to lead us in prayer.
Derek, thank you for that very warm introduction. I didn't expect you to go through my entire life history. And the first thing I did this morning was look at what was happening on Tweed and saw someone angling and wished I'd been there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a soulful, it's a mournful place. I have visited Auschwitz, Dachau, Rorke's-Drift and Isandlwana, the killing fields of Cambodia, the Chu Chi tunnels and Hanoi Hilton in Vietnam, Ground Zero at Hiroshima, the beaches at Normandy, and followed in the footsteps of British and Allied soldiers who escaped from Dunkirk. I've been to the Somme, I've been to Passchendaele, I've been to Ypres, Waterloo, Culloden, Spion Kop in South Africa, Berlin, and followed in the footsteps of the 8th Army in Egypt. I've been to Singapore to trace the meaning of capitulation, which brought an end to the Malay campaign in Asia, and I have visited many other battlefields in this green and pleasant land, which speak in equal measure of glory, sacrifice and triumph. I know a little of the soldier's craft, a regular and reservist, as Derek has just outlined, between 1997 and 2019. I also know what it means to command soldiers across adjacent boundaries. My TA regiment, although based in Newcastle, comprised of 2 Scottish squadrons, 2 English squadrons and 1 in Northern Ireland. And so it is with great pleasure and huge honour, not to mention a little apprehension, to be with you here today, because although I have been coming here privately for years, last year was the first time I had ever taken part in the official Flodden Memorial, privileged to have been generously invited then as High Sheriff of Northumberland. I venture to suggest it is only one of a very small handful of times in the last 500 years that a High Sheriff from south of the border has dared to cross our common border in full military kit, and thank you for granting me safe passage then and again today. So the places and campaigns I've just mentioned all have something in common. and continue to cast long shadows on our collective historical memory. They have the power to embrace us in their cause, regardless of their rights and wrongs, and they resonate to the quiet sound of soulfulness, of mournfulness, and reflectiveness. Scenes of and witness to visceral, often barbaric, and unimaginable brutality between human beings in pursuit of some muddled military objective, political expediency, or social and economic resolution, the cause of which has long since been forgotten, and where diplomacy might once have prevailed but failed. Yet despite these mournful places of industrial and uncensored killing, they also have the power to move us in positive ways which we might not have expected. I was first touched by this place about 30 years ago while taking part in what the Army calls a TUT, a tactical exercise without troops, to explore and learn the military lessons of the past in order that we might do things differently next time. Our study was full of promise and purposefulness, and we strode about this and other local points of interest, dressed in combat kit, doing a quick and hasty military appreciation of how we would fight the battle, shaped by the doctrine of today of ends, ways and means. In simple terms, by looking at what each side was trying to achieve, the options open to them to achieve their objectives, and the resources they needed to do this. We looked carefully at the ground and walked stretches of both combatants' choices of ground. Please be seated. We now have something very special and a real highlight of our ceremony. Joyce Tinlin, who will sing The Wail of Flodden.
And the brave bravest of them all, said, "Fare thee well till me, oh love that winna like my laddie on the lea, for his in country. Oh Flodden field, oh Flodden field, my heart is wait for thee. They ta'en away the well, our bonny David Dale, our talents and men o' men, take forth that God may flee. Oh, love that winna deal, like my laddie on the lea, for his in country. Oh, Flodden field, oh, Flodden field, my heart is wait for thee. He laughed to get his sword at his little chieftain's word. The broke gallant I adore, he'll ne'er come back to me. Oh, love that winna deal, like my laddie on the lea, for his in country. Oh, Flodden field, oh, Flodden field, my heart is wait for thee.
When word reached the border at Coldstream of the defeat at Flodden, the Abbess of Coldstream Abbey, Isabella Hopringle, and her nuns made the journey across to Brankston Moor. Isabella, knowing that her own husband, Sir David Hume, and son George had perished in the fight, did not think of her own grief as they gave comfort to the dying, and brought back the bodies of Scottish noblemen of rank and birth, so that they would be buried in the consecrated ground of Coldstream Abbey. To commemorate this event, the Earl of Hume charged the Coldstreamer this morning to cut a turf from the battlefield and carry it back to Coldstream, near the site of the consecrated ground of Coldstream Abbey, for the Abbey ceremony tonight. Doolan way for the order, sent our lads to the border. An English for Yince, by guile won the day. The flowers o' the forest, that fought I foremost, the prime o' our land, now lie called in the clay. Please be seated.
The final prayer to send us on our way. O God of truth and justice, we hold before you those whose memory we cherish. Help us to lift our eyes above the torment of this broken world, and as we honour the past, may we put our faith in your future, for you are the source of life and hope now and forever. Amen. Thank you everyone for your prayers and presence.
On behalf of us all, I would like to extend our grateful thanks to the Neil family for kindly allowing us onto their land today. And please make sure that all litter and belongings are taken home with you when you leave the field. A special thank you to our sponsors today, Coldstream Holiday Park, the Flodden 1513 Club and Lodge St John number 280. Thanks also to all who have participated in our service today. Our appreciation also goes to Coldstream Riders Association for organising the Flodden Day Cavalcade today, and I wish all the riders a safe return to Coldstream this afternoon. I hope all of our guests have enjoyed their day with us, and thanks to you all for attending our ceremonies today, and I wish you a safe journey home. The cavalcade will shortly leave.
Survived that. Survived that. A couple of photos. Take the two.
Is that now the horse is going away? But we have to head off shortly.
So we'll gather at the top of the stairs. Just go to 9.
Get out of it.
It looked like he was cutting a half loaf. I said, did you mate? He was cutting a half loaf.
It's awful easy to cut, isn't it?
Sorry.
Oh, it's a bit softer.
Alright. Get 43 now. So 43 and that's it. Come this way.
Want to get a picture of it?
Fall in the hole.
I'm going to stick my finger right up your bum.
That's the finger up.
Thanks, Michael.
Just look this way. One more.
Lovely, thank you.
Glenn.
That's fine, Harry, thank you.
Hooray! Got a spot on. There's a bit of a hike. Hey? Middle of the road. I don't like it. Jonesy. I think they might be here.
He's got the biggest grin on his face ever. He's made it, he's done it.
Hooray! Second one walked out from the bridge.
Can you look careful on his mother?
Escape route.
They're over there.
Where? Are they?
Laura.
Abbey Charter by the Reverend Chris Jones. Confirmation of King Alexander of the lands and liberties of the monastery of Coldstream. Alexander, by the grace of God, King of Scots, to all honourable men in the whole realm, wishes salvation. Know ye that I have conceded, and by this my present charter have confirmed, that donation which Patrick, Earl of Dunbar, granted to God and the Church of St Mary of Coldstream, and the sisters and their assistants serving God there, the whole lands of Lennel, viz. South town of Lennel, with the pertinence held and possessed by the same sisters from the said Earl and his heirs, with all the liberties, properties and pertinence, whether within or without the same, without any retention, subtraction or diminution, in free, pure and perpetual gift, as freely, lawfully, fully and honourably as any gift within our whole realm is freely, lawfully, fully and honourably held and possessed by any party. And as the charter of the said Earl granted to the said sisters fully declares, with our safe service from the Lord Earl and his heirs, sealed in the presence of Hugh de Berkeley, Justiciary of Lothian, Hugh de Abernathy, Alexander de Balliol, Alexander de Wallibus, Richard Seward, Bernard de Monte Alto, William Byseth, on the 21st day of June, in the 21st year of our reign. The Priory of St Mary was founded by Gospatrick, 3rd Earl of Dunbar, in 1165. The Priory building stood on the high ground next to the Tweed Green, down to my left, overlooking the ford in the river. Throughout our history, the ford in the Tweed was used by many invading armies, both Scots and English, including on the 28th of March 1296, Edward I of England crossed here with 5,000 horses and 30,000 infantry. Edward's men pillaged the priory storehouses, damaged the orchards and the surrounding countryside, before moving downstream to attack Berwick. On the 20th of August 1640, the Covenanting army, led by the great Montrose, crossed the ford, but only after Montrose himself waded the river 3 times to prove to his men that it was safe to do so. On the 2nd of January 1660, General Monk crossed the ford to make his epic journey to London, where he helped to restore the monarchy. These men were called by the no dishonourable name of Coldstreamers, henceforth becoming the Coldstream Guards. However, it is the events of the 9th of September 1513 that we remember today. On the 22nd of August 1513, Isabella Hopringle of Coldstream Abbey would have blessed King James IV's army as it passed through Coldstream. The vanguard of the Scottish army was led by Lord Hume and his borderers. In Hume's division were many men from places that still make up our beautiful border country. Lord Hume's kinsman, Sir David Hume from Wedderburn Castle near Duns, was accompanied by all his 7 sons, George, David, Alexander, John, Robert, Andrew and Patrick. They were known as the 7 Spears of Wedderburn. It was custom in those days that in time of war, the heir would remain at home to continue the family line in case the rest of the family were killed. George was sent from the Scottish camp when the English army were first spotted in the vicinity of Flodden Hill. On his way back, George stopped at Coldstream Abbey, where his mother, Isabella Hopringle, persuaded George to return to his father, safe in the knowledge that the king's mighty army would never be defeated. Hume's men were the first to engage the English on that fateful day, and during the battle Sir David Hume and George were slain. The 6 remaining brothers wrapped the bodies in the Hume banner, which was a green saltire, and carried them back to Wedderburn. When the remnants of the Scottish force crossed the Tweed here after the battle, Isabella, on hearing of the slaughter that had taken place, ordered her nuns to go to Brankston Moor to give comfort to the dying and bring the bodies of Scots noblemen back to Coldstream Abbey to be buried in consecrated ground. To commemorate this act, the Coldstreamer was charged this morning to bring back a sod of earth from Flodden.
Let us offer a prayer of thanksgiving, and in that prayer I'm going to suggest you have your own words of thanksgiving to yourself, to your neighbour, or to God as you please. So today we are giving thanks in our minds for presenting Coldstream, the Coldstream Riders Association, for conveners of all activities, ex-Coldstreamers, lassies, sponsors, the farming community, the principals, for all those who have supported. Let us pray. Father, thank you for our time in community, especially this week and this day, for deep and long or fleeting friendship, for conversations on the way, for our freedom to serve others, and for finding meaning for our lives in remembering, in celebrating, in opening to us love and laughter, joy and hope. For all who have made this day and this week possible, we give thanks. In times of trouble or financial strain, anxiety for our own or our planet's future, we thank you that we can be led by a Coldstreamer to discover life in our common path. And we give thanks for signs from a church from which so many have turned and become disaffected. Yet, thank you for your body on earth, celebrating the community of creation. Thanks be to God. Amen.
A Sion and morning on Elka green loaning, the floors o' the forest are a weed awa'. I've heard them lilting at the yow milking, lasses are lilting before dawn o' day. But now they are moaning on ilka
green loanen, the floors o' the forest are raw weed awa. At bachs in the morning, nae blithe lads are scorning. Lasses are lonely and dowly and wae. Nae daffin, nae gabbin, but sighing and sobbing. Ilk yin lifts her leg len, and he's her awa. Dulwa for the order sent o'er lads to the border. The English for yens by guile won the day. The floors o' the forest that fought I the fairmost, the prime of our land lie cold in the clay. We'll hany Merlilton at the yow milken, women and bairnies are headless and we a sighing and moaning on Ilka green loanen. The floors o' the forest are a weed awa.
Sir, fulfill the charges you set me this morning. Now return your colours to you. Three cheers for the old home. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our Abbey ceremony this evening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
We drove the immediately proud.
Aye. That is pretty secure. Is it really? It's only the 4. Right, here we go. Last year at Lauder, I thought I was safe. My stirrups went west and I was put back in my place. 2022 would see me have yin last roll, o'er the heat, onto my hole. Now this year I thought would be better, but I like tradition and to be a trendsetter. So the hill at Moss Ball, both this year and last, is where it all started, flat on my arse. I made it to Moor Battle. I made it to Moor Battle to meet the Jed Callant, feeling all confident, bold and gallant. Coming off wasn't great, as I done a roly-poly and landed on the road like a horse's tolly. The lashing was our ride to Sprouston. My nemesis was hiding behind a hedge. As we approached the gate at a decent speed, this beep pheasant stuck its head out. It might have been a pheasant, but I was playing chicken. If I'd get a hold of it, I'd give it some kicking. I bolted across the track, leaving me and our laddie flat on our back. I'll see you next year. Again, fucking this ticket fucking drains it. Well done, Buddha. Good man. We'll keep going. Can we now have Robbie Lowry 2019 Gala Brawl lad, please? You weren't as bad as that this morning. You want to just dip on that? Yep. Oh! After this storm that is me done, it's been a long 5 years of fun, but I won't bore you all, you just want to know about my fall. And we ride, but I fell off my horse and we ride, but I fell off my horse and we ride, but I fell off my horse and we ride, and we ride, and we ride. Just actually got a snapshot there, 2 seconds. And the first field was where I fell. Lauder Golf Course reminds me of hell. I'm a proud man, but that was tough, as I rode from the fairway to the rough. And we ride, but I fell off my horse and we ride. Can it? But I fell off my horse and we ride, but I fell off my horse and we ride, and we ride, and we ride. It's not that bad. Safe to say, no my best ride. I wasn't sore, but I just hurt my pride. The horse just laughed and cantered on. He's even lucky to make it in the song. And we ride, but I fell off my horse and we ride, but I fell off my horse and we ride,
but I fell off my horse and we ride and we ride and we ride. I got a text from my mate, not 5 minutes did he wait. It was a video just taking the piss from that arsehole Greg Middleman. And we ride, but I fell off my horse and we ride. But I fell off my horse and we ride. But I fell off my horse and we ride and we ride. And we ride, and we ride, in defence of our land and we ride. By the strength of our hand and we ride, over our borderland and we ride and we ride and we ride.
Next up, can we have Elliot Flodden, right hand man, please? Now, this gentleman was very honest and owned up to his casualties, so I think he deserves another round of applause for that. You've got the good stuff. Just a verse and a chorus. We'll do a wee intro. Right. I'll give a wee introduction. So, this year, we had our cornet, had a wee tumble, coming off his horse at the mountain block. Jake shouldn't go up on his own. And he was like, well, thanks for that, but 2 bits of bad news. 1, none of us knew, could have got away with that. 2, Jake's not even on. So kids, that's where honesty gets you. But I know we've got a few folk, so I'll just do a verse and a chorus. So I've got Little Lies by Fleetwood Mac. So if I could turn the page in time, then I'd rearrange just a day or two. Close my eyes. But I couldn't find a way, so I'll settle for one day to believe in you. Tell me lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise, no you can't disguise. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Cheers. We should be practicing this cushion, like. We had Andrew Napier, 2019 People's Cornet, but I've not seen him today. I wouldn't imagine he's turned up. No, that's fine. Right, can we next have Abby Hood? Brawl Ass 2022.
Here's a little story about why I'm here today. It's because of a horse called Winston, and here's what I've got to say. It was last year's Kelso Tuesday ride, so I waited all this time. Even had to get a good brawl lad to help me make this rhyme. Into the first field, raring to go, a couple strides in, it was more like cheerio. I hit the ground hard after flying through the air. Away went Winston, who left me feeling sore. Off to the BGH, I was feeling awfully high, where I spent the evening instead of being a social butterfly. As most of you know, I was brawl ass just last year, and the thought of doing this today gave me the ultimate fear. That's my stump poem over, please tell me what you think. But if you've nothing nice to say, just go buy me a drink.
Do we have Duncan Whitson here from Pennycook? No, right, next. Aidan Dixon, please. Dunsriver.
Mind, I can't really read, so if I stumble. As I rode across the bounds of Berwick and the beginning of it all, never once did I think I was about to take a fall. When my horse saw a ditch and decided to trip, I flew over its head and I did a grand flip. Bump, and I then hit the ground with a big hit, and then I thought to myself, Christ, Aidan, you look like a tit. First ride out of the summer, and I'm already on the stump. Was only a walk and all. I wish I at least got a proper thump. Pride on the floor after coming out the front door, and then I started to wonder to myself what I got myself in for. But here we are, nearing the end of a brilliant summer, and what a time it's been. Since my tumble at Berwick, I've managed to keep rather clean. Now we've said about how we've all decked, let's get out tonight and get bloody wrecked.
Good man, Aidan. Good man. Next up, can we have Sarah Aitchison, Dunsriver, please? You're joking.
Next year.
Aye, she will be here next year. Next up, Ian Monroe. No introduction needed.
Once again, I stand here before you, so I'll keep it short and try not to bore you. Off to Philip Rigg I went, first ride of the season. On Big Finnegan the horse, oh you should have seen him. Brushed to a shine and raring to go, I might thinking I better hold on, this winnie be slow. All was going so well until the last field before the stop, when I was left on my ain up at the top. The horse reared up and all I could see was sky and neck, thinking no chance I can sit this and soon hit the deck. Thankfully for me, there were no more mishaps, but a summer of memories and plenty of laughs. Next year it'll no matter if I take a count, as Callant 19 is over and out.
Happy funny. Next up, we have our very own Gregor Paxton, Jared Callan, 2022.
Breathe in the fresh air, cold wind in your face. There's no turning back, there's no better place. Out on the hills, the horse galloping fine. This feels like heaven, this time is mine. A handsome boy like Paddy, so majestic, cool and calm. Sitting tall upon my steed, what can possibly go wrong? Riding home from Mosspaul, up and down and round the boot. Here comes a gate and a ditch, Paddy just didn't figure it out. Sooth down here we come, but a gate was in the way. My horse put the brakes on, I could only smile and pray. Down I went like a pillock, landed with a muckle thump. My horse got up, but I stayed still till I checked if there was any bumps. So the moral of the story is, no matter how handsome they may be, one is always near and tricky end, be it Paddy, Turbo T, Harry or me.
Next up, can we have our very own Hoyt Cornet 2019, Connor Brunton, please.
So here we are on Coldstream's day. I find myself back up here wondering what do I say. I'd like to say he's in for a treat, but every time I think of this moment I think I'm beat. Nevertheless, I'm going to tell you the tale of the day the wind got knocked clean out my sail. It was a glorious Moss Paul that came a cropper. The horse must have thought he was a topper. Charging down the hill at a rate of knots, my muckle grey horse had got the hots. For a wee bay mare had caught his eye, and he couldn't care less if I lived or died. Down he went with an almighty thud. Honestly, that horse, he was a fud. But nevertheless I picked myself up, and my next thought was of the upside down cup. I was a wee bit battered and a wee bit bruised, but I tell you what, I was bloody roused. I'd earned my place to stand at this stump, and I'm glad it's a big one, because I'm feeling a wee bit more plump. What a summer we've had, we're nearly at the end, but a better one I couldn't recommend. Friends for life and memories forever, it's an honour to say we've done it together. All that's left to say is I hope you have a good night, and try your best to bide upright. Cheers.
That fired into someone. Good up. Next up, can we have acting for Doug Waldy, please? Thank you.
A wee bit old school here, I've got a bit of paper. I'm glad to see Ewan was the same as me. I was riding along with my cornet having a blather, when suddenly something happened to my dodgy stirrup leather. Then afore I kent it, I was rolling about. I'm usually going flat toot toot toot. I hit the deck with one big thump. My cornet shouts, "You're a muckle bloody lump, that's you on the stump." When the news filtered through that it came a cropper, the actor mother was heard to say, "'Cause that's 'cause he can't ride proper." I ken you're not supposed to blame your tools, but dodgy stirrup leathers isn't in the rules. But at least everybody got a laugh at the wee fool. I think I might have to go back to riding school. But nae harm done, I live to tell the tale, and there's always yin that has to fail. Thank you.
Oh, they're tight, like. You know what's the day for it?
Next up, can Melrose and Willow in favour of the company, please? Aye, then take them up.
Hello again. From my horse I took a tumble. With its reins I did fumble. My right and left hand men could not contain from pissing their pants once again. This year I thought I'd have more luck, but as you can see, did I fuck. So I'm still on this stump once again, in front of you merry men and women. Third time lucky, so they say, but I'm stood here once again. So if that's so, maybe I should just give up. But you'll be pleased to see that's all from me. So now let it rain, pass me the champagne.
Well done, Will. Next up, it's a man in the moment. Can I have Harry Shepherd, Coldstream, out in favour of the company, please? Just a you.
I'll keep this short and sweet because my voice can't handle it. Like, the saddle's fallen off. It all shows signs of ending. You've been off balance for hours, but you've carried on pretending. Your boots have lost their shine. The stock is out of place. And now you're in mum's taxi, feeling of disgrace. You've never got no money, cause all the times you lend was it a pointless 3-day bender or coming riding seasoned with my friends.
Go on the Coldstreamer. Next up, can we have Selkirk attendant Fraser Easton in favour of the company, please?
Here I am once again, back on the stump to share more champagne. In White's embrace where tales are spun, with Phoenix by my side our story begun. With the last field on the horizon, I wasn't sure what my future lies in. I can't mind what happens, or does it really count? However, a wee trip down the field left to a dismount. Was it the pony that scared my mare as I went flying through the air? Who's to blame? I nearly cried, an expensive day to fall off and mark my pride. With White's breeze and Phoenix grace, in the hospital's bed I found my place. But anyways, that's enough from me. Now I'll pass you on to my pal Matty. So thank you all who assemble here. You will only hear from me for the next few years.
Came out and just fucking knocked the roots.
Knock yourself. Next up, can Matty Sanders, please. Selkirk. Woo! Money! Yes. £5 being embarked. Lend me your ear, hold back your tears. My story's quite a farce. For back in June, when I fell down, I landed on my arse. With marches done, I thought it fun to try my hand at racing. But said false start made me depart the grass I soon was facing. So morals told, let all behold, I'm not the jockey type. But with good grace, I won the race, the fall was worth the hype. So though I fell, the tale I tell, the trophy is still mine. And now it's time, well in my prime, to spray you with this cheap wine. Aye, good man, Matty. Next up, can we have Ellen Brown from Musselburgh, please? Is this 2 for 1 bottles with Matty?
One night I was taking a ride along the river when someone came along and took my stirrup off my foot and I ended on the floor, and she didn't even say sorry for what she done. And I thought some nasty words, but they were too far and too long gone. Hey, I don't even know her name. Look into the bushes, I ended up staring at the sky. Hurt my back and came back to my life. Look into the marshal's eyes, I told her to get her off the right. And one day you'll find out that I did not say that as polite. Now I'm standing on the stump, knowing I had took a bump. Not my fault really, ended up well and truly on my arse.
Right, shake it, pop it, I'll pop, just keep pushing, hey! Kawoshi! Next up, can we have everyone's herald, Rob Reid. Also, he's celebrating the big 4-0, so I deserves another round of applause. Hey. My speech is so good.
The pen's all done, isn't it?
Nah, the pen's alright. Fucking speech is soaking, man. 5 long years and barely a stumble, till at Southdene I took a tumble. The going was good, so was the banter. Astride brave flame I started to canter. Admiring the views, enjoying the jog, I didn't notice the muckle bog. Poor flame went down, I let out a curse, an ex-callant near went up flame's arse. Up to his chest he sank in the muck. I couldn't believe my terrible luck. The only thing dented was my pride, and I soon recovered my men by my side. Ewan Gregor, poor callant Will, the only one of the 4 to no take a spell. Yeah, did we not think I've taken enough fire in my life? Fucking hell. Me a veteran and him a newbie. How he's escaped this, I dare have a Scooby. So here's to you all, brave lads and lassies. As another summer season passes, I wish you all health, happiness and nae troubles as I pop this cork, or Skid pops the cork, and spray these bubbles.
Gerard Wally! Good man, Ross. Henry Jeffrey, Liam. Thank you.
Andrew Thompson.
Next up, our own council laddie, Andrew Thompson. Jinx. Right then, I'll keep this in short. Roses are red, violets are blue, I really hate pheasants, and Buddha does too. Jake said that doesn't he drink, man. Next up, can we have co-shimmer right hand man, Jake Kerr, please.
Back in Kelso Civic Week, Tuesday Sitchell ride, Jake Kerr's steed called Phoenix decided to take a slide. Cantering down a steep hill, the horse took a turn, and for Jake's demise, there was no return. Jake thought to himself, feck's sake, what was that? As the horse took off and lay him lying flat. As the principals laughed when he made it to Hume, he soon reminded them they'd all been off in June. Summer 2023, my right-hand man year, made friends for life and drunk many a beer. My first fall from grace dented my pride, but it didn't put me off from completing the ride. Can't wait for next year, I'll stay on my mount. I'll leave it to the others to be the ones to dismount. Over and out 2023, my time on the stump. It's a shame that one horse caused me a bump.
So we'll just stick with Coldstream. Next up, we have Chris Lyons. Favourite company, please.
Cheers, lads. Yeah, I know it's on. How do you get ready? Hey. Oh, good. You're such a good horse. I know you're fair, but sometimes, Henry, you're such a mare. We took a tumble onto the flare. We twisted in its V-base chair. I hit the ground, it's such a thump, and now I'm standing here on the stump. I'll remember it in years to come, how on the Duns Day I fell on my bums. And I was like, rolling, 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 oh, like Henry, 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 oh, rolling, 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 roll, just like a set of dominoes.
Well done, Chris. Well done in your 3 years in town. Next up to favourite company, could we have Emma Spence, Brawl last please?
On a wet Saturday morn, we gathered with pride to sport Jinx during his big week on the Kelso Yetum ride. Through the time we rode and onto the first field, I made it up safely, but what lay next was revealed. Through the gate and onto stubble,